Hey everybody, it's Rob from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shot Breakdown, where to go over 4 college basketball games for Monday, March 3rd, 2025. Now, if you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most in college basketball and other sports, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. We're currently on a 12-0-1 all sports run, just crushing the books as of late and overall this season in college hoops. The NBA and the NHL showing profit. Now's a great time to buy a monthly package to get all my picks across all those sports, plus MLB opening day in the first few days of the season. So check it out at Pick Dawgz Premium. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Monday in college basketball. First up, we'll start in the ASUN Conference Tournament. This is a quarterfinal game between Eastern Kentucky and Jacksonville, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Now, I mentioned it on Sunday. I got to say the same thing for Monday. Unfortunately, I don't love this Monday card from a betting perspective. There's going to be so many opportunities in March to cash big, not just March Madness, but and not just the NCAA tournament, but the NIT, the other postseason tournaments, the rest of the conference tournaments, and regular season play in some of the bigger conferences. So for me, I would tread lightly again on Monday. There's going to be, I think much better games and much better cards the rest of the week. But for me in this one, I think home court advantage goes a long way in the ASUN Conference Tournament, especially in the early rounds. And Jacksonville dominated the season series between these two. They swept the season series. They're one of the best defensive teams in not just the conference, but in mid-major college basketball overall. Top 100 in adjusted defensive efficiency. They force a lot of turnovers. They force a lot of tough shots. And while the offense has struggled from an efficiency standpoint, I like the fact that the Dolphins are a great offensive rebounding team and an excellent three-point shooting team. They do turn the ball over quite a bit. They're not a great free throw shooting team, but there's not too many better ways to get a home crowd into a ball game, especially a do-or-die game like this one, than to get an offensive rebound on a missed shot, kick it out to the corner for a wide-open three, and splash a three, and you get some momentum going offensively. Like I said, you look at the season series wins for Jacksonville. I thought they were very sustainable victories. Nothing like a fluke shooting performance that prevailed. That got the Dolphins the win. I thought that they played very solid, sound basketball in both games. They're in decent form. They had that 4-game losing streak towards the end of conference play, but settled down, took down EKU on February 24th. Had a win against Stetson in their most recent game. EKU on the other side had that long win streak. Right going into the end of February, lost back-to-back games against Bellarmine. Not a great loss there. And the Jacksonville loss on the road. They've not been the best true road team at times this season. I think that hurts them in a game like this. I'm going to go with Jacksonville. It's a very reasonable price, laying less than a bucket right now, or less than a 3-point bucket. So give me Jacksonville laying the points. Next up, it's McNeese and Stephen F. Austin. This one is going to be 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on ESPNU. Now, this is an interesting game because obviously when you look at McNeese, 18-1 in conference play, second place in the Southland is a tie between Lamar and Nichols. McNeese is going to be the number 1 seed in the Southland tournament and the heavy favorite to win that Southland tournament this year and make it back to the NCAA tournament. But on the flip side, Stephen F. Austin, this is their final game of the season, unless somehow they get invited to a postseason tournament with a losing record. Sometimes we see that, but Stephen F. Austin, they are right now on the outside looking in the Southland bracket. Only the top 8 teams in the standings in the Southland will play in the conference tournament. It's not the case for every conference. Honestly, most conferences, every single team, no matter how, even if you went winless in the regular season in the conference, you still get a shot in the conference tournament. And we'll see that with many conferences, some of the worst teams in college basketball getting a chance to play, but not going to be the case for some of these Southland teams like UT Rio Grande Valley, SFA, East Texas A&M, and New Orleans. So this is the final game of the season. There is still a little bit to play for, at least for Pride. Senior night game at home on an ESPNU channel. We don't get to see the Lumberjacks host too many games at home on ESPN too often. So for me, I still think that there is going to be some motivation in this game for the Lumberjacks. This is a team I don't really like to count out when they're getting this many points as a home dog. I know McNeese has been dominant recently. We've backed him a few times. But I think Stephen F. Austin's defense good enough in this one to keep this game close. It's a very aggressive defense. It forces a lot of turnovers. They're not a great offensive team, and they're going to have to hit some shots in this game to keep up. But in a pretty low-scoring, sloppy ball game, I think the Lumberjacks at least cover the number and maybe pull off the outright upset to shock the world a little bit before their season ends. Next up, we'll go to the AAC as Wichita State takes on North Texas. This one 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. I mentioned a few times, I think this Wichita State team is underrated. I think they're a team to watch out for a potential run in the conference tournament. We've seen them pull off some upsets already in conference play. The most notable, the overtime win over Memphis. And while they're coming off the loss in that last game against UAB, I think we see the Shockers bounce back here and at least cover the number on the road, maybe even pull off another upset. Wichita State's playing with revenge in this one. They're a strong defensive team, shot quality-wise. These teams are almost even this season, so I don't think that North Texas should be laying this many points, especially as a very low-scoring, slow-paced kind of team that we look at the first meeting, 58-54 the final score. It was a very close game, and it was that close despite Wichita State being outshot from 2-point range, 3-point range, and the free throw line. If Wichita State can improve those shooting numbers just a little bit, they should have a decent chance to win this game outright. I'm going to take the points with the Shockers in this one on the road. Next up, it's UCLA and Northwestern. This one 9 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1. Now, I view this as a sell-high spot on Northwestern. You could argue they're playing their best basketball this season right now on a 3-game win streak, despite a couple of devastating injuries, season-ending injuries for a few key players. But I think because of this current win streak, we're actually getting a really good price fading Northwestern in this spot. Not an easy place to play. They have a great home court advantage, but UCLA is an experienced roster. They've won in tough buildings before this year, and I think that their defense is elite. I mean, we know defense travels, and we faded UCLA in their last game against Purdue, and we were able to win that game with Purdue, but this just wasn't a great matchup for the Bruins, in that spot against a Purdue team that has the high-flying offense. Northwestern, for me, just not that kind of team. I think UCLA's defense is superior. I think their offense has improved in conference play. Now it's top 50 in the country in adjusted offensive efficiency. They do a good job of taking care of the ball. They're a decent rebounding team. I think UCLA matches up well here, and you just can't beat the price because of Northwestern's recent win streak. I got to go with UCLA in this one. And that's it. Those are the games for Monday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, it's Romanelli. Good luck.